computer. Let me put the participant list. Okay, welcome everyone. I hear echo for myself. Okay, great. Okay, so welcome everyone. So today is a more intimate sharing session on blockchain and cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, which I'm very, very excited about. Why is an intimate sharing session? Because a lot of people signed up, but I forgot to send reminder email yesterday. So I think people forget, but it's okay. This session will be recorded. I hope everyone's okay with it. The thing is that I will not share this recording anywhere else. It's just for my reference because I want to take note about what questions people new to the space actually have. So please ask any questions you want. I will do my best to answer. Usually it's answerable. If I don't know the answer, I will ask my network to answer for me. So should be fine. Yeah, so let's start. Okay, so the first one is I want to highlight, right? I checked the Bitcoin price like 15 minutes ago. Yeah, I Googled it and today Bitcoin is $32,891. In USD, it's probably like 25K already. So it is also an all-time high. Will you say this is crazy? I don't think it's crazy. I think a lot of people predicted it. I mean, a lot of people in the space really foresaw this moment today. So we will talk about, how to, or like, we will examine more into this situation, like in this webinar. So why is this masterclass different, right? So if you have always wanted to participate in the blockchain space and you don't know where to start, it's actually not your fault because the space is very fast moving. People in the space always say that if it is, how should I put it? Okay, 5 years in the blockchain industry is like 25 years elsewhere. So there's always a 5-to-1 ratio. Yeah. So if you work 1 year in the blockchain industry, your body clock will be like aged by 5 years. But also the amount of money you make will be times 5 as compared to like let's say any other day-to-day job outside of the blockchain space. Yeah, so many blockchain projects are designed to hype and confuse, especially to non-technical people. They will spam words like consensus, they will spam words like interoperability, they will spam words like decentralization. So any blockchain project you go to, you will hear decentralization, and not a lot of people know what is it. Yeah, because which is the point, because they want to hype and confuse, and the ultimate goal is to make use of greed to get you to buy in. Yeah, so this space is a lot about human nature. So I want to put your fears to rest because what you will learn today is different. So what has held you back is the myth that you need to know technicalities and complicated code to understand blockchain and cryptocurrency. This is not true. Even people who issue coins, right, need not know code and need not know anything technical. Basically, you can issue your own cryptocurrency, like your own brand of cryptocurrency in like 10 minutes using the ERC20 token or through the Wave blockchain portal. So if you think that navigating the blockchain space and making money has to be easier with peace of mind, you're actually correct. So as a beginner to the blockchain cryptocurrency space, you should have a good idea of how to navigate the space after this masterclass. So let me give a brief introduction of myself. Like why can I like conduct classes, on blockchain? So I actually guest lectured at Nanyang Poly before on emerging technology. It was part of app class if I didn't remember wrongly. So I was invited by Hitachi Blockchain, no, not Hitachi Blockchain, Hitachi at a blockchain hackathon as a judge to comment on the business side and business model of blockchain. Or I don't actually know any back end or blockchain code. So I was judging the competition as a non-technical person. I was commenting all on business model, marketing, and PR. So crypto.com is the wallet. So I was invited as a judge to judge the competition also. Yeah, so I was also invited before COVID as a guest lecturer at Shangri-La Hotel, was lecturing about this social network. SNS stand for what? Okay, social media app that was on blockchain. So basically I was lecturing on that and how it can help, how blockchain can help the social media network to a lot of people. And then, yeah, so these are business practitioners. They also invited on a lot of panels, like to talk about the PR and marketing side of blockchain projects. Then the second picture is on how to do personal branding to like the tech people and people who want to learn. And then also blockchain for business practitioners. Yeah, so there was this group of business practitioners who came for this blockchain summit. Then I was invited as a lecturer. Actually, I've been doing a lot of lectures that I can't even remember how like it needs some like jotting of memory. So like initially, right, I felt that it is a must to know code to be able to do blockchain. So because of that, right, I mean up till today, I also don't know code lah. I don't know like in detail. So because of that, I didn't have the confidence to like, value at my clients in the blockchain space with public relations and marketing solutions, capitalize on the mega upside of blockchain, Bitcoin with peace of mind, and or speak at the large scale blockchain conferences. Because I thought I wasn't legit if I didn't know code. But that is very wrong lah, because so the emotion that accompanied that, right, was that because of my lack of confidence, because I did not know code, right, I did not dare to serve people in the blockchain or fintech space, so they could not benefit from my expertise. So there was certain projects I turned down because I felt I wasn't good enough. Then I was also missing out lah, because like I know a lot of people my age or younger. I'm like 32, so people younger, right, they were making a lot of money from cryptocurrencies, like a lot of money, because early buyers into Ripple got sued recently, by the way. But anyway, early buyers, they bought it at like 0.01 USD, and now it's like times 20. Even though they got sued, it's still times 20. Yeah. So my peers were making a lot of money, basically. Then yeah, I felt that I was left behind also, because I felt that certain blockchain news were very technical, and yeah, so I just gave up then. So until this happened, right, that gave me a funny moment. So I was moderating this Safra event. I actually did 2 moderations of the panel. So on this particular panel, right, there were 1, 2, 3, 3 very, someone is coming in. There were actually 3 very technical people on the panel. First is, what's this? Yeah. Okay, great. So first person, the person who is holding the mic, right, he was a student then. I think he graduated already, Jordan. So Jordan is very technical, like he knows code and things like that. So he's just very technical person. Then second one is Guo Jie, third is Karen, fourth is Michael Run. Michael Run works at Stellar Lumens as an engineer, and his background is that he used to be in Facebook as an engineer as well. So he's an ex-Facebook person. So he's also very technical. Then the last person is Dr. Rex. Dr. Rex is also very, very technical, and he like lectures at, I can't remember where, some institution, very, very high profile person. So right, the past, present, and future of blockchain with 3 technical people on panel, right? Interestingly, nobody spoke about technicals or nobody spoke about code. Everyone talked about money, greed, human nature, and like how more money in the space will hype up the space and contribute to more resources in the space. So it gave an epiphany, because I was like, 3 technical people, right? How is it possible that 3 out of 5 panelists who are invited to a Safra event did not even talk about code, or did not even talk about how to make the technology better? They were talking about use cases, like how blockchain technology can be applied to industry to improve business process. That is one thing. Second thing is that they are talking about the space has a lot of hype. Hype means is PR and marketing problem really, right? Or issue, or benefit. So as I was listening, then I was like, am I interpreting it something wrong? Because nobody talk about code during the panel, right? So then I got an epiphany moment. I was like, oh, okay, blockchain tech is actually a mere enabler of massive wealth creation. It's actually human nature and business model that drives the process. What this means is that if let's say $10 million that go into a blockchain space, okay, we make it simpler, $1 million. How many percent will actually go to developers? I don't even think it's more than 25%. So what happened to the 75%, right? It is definitely going into business people, your marketing, your PR, your community builders, your investor relation. So tech is always a leverage or an enabler. The core, the fundamental that drives it, right, is still business model and it's still human nature. This blockchain space, right, you will see a lot of human nature. You see greed, you will see very random drama, you will see a lot of egos clashing. Yeah. Okay, why I put Google Cloud there is because it's the same thing as cloud war going on. Like I think a lot of people who are investing, right? We will definitely know about we will definitely know about the recent Alibaba, Jack Ma kind of got into trouble after he started criticizing the Communist Party. So this thing about cloud, right, is that ultimately, if you want your business to have an advantage, right, it is not about superiority of technology anymore because of things like cloud computing. If you want your business to have a unique selling, an edge or a economic mode, right, it definitely is not about technology because you can just outsource technology. You can just like a lot of big corporations are doing this kind of service, like technology as a service, cloud as a service. So basically, you can just start a business very, very fast and very, very cheaply recently. Can you Google Cloud, AWS, your Alibaba? Yeah. So it cannot be technology that gives people the edge. It needs to be alignment of interest and business model. That's my point. How come this person, someone is entering? Okay. So I kind of plan to add on this epiphany. So after I realized that, okay, so businesses, they sort of like win big, right? Because of their business model, I just realized that, oh, actually there is huge value to my core expertise. My core expertise is in PR and marketing, branding. So I was determined to that, not knowing code should not ever be a problem for learning blockchain and cryptocurrency. So if I am not an expert at code, I won't even try. Like I will understand the big picture. Of course, this is my strategy. Like you can agree to disagree. It's okay. So I will understand the big picture and I'll understand what kind of blockchain requires what kind of language. But I do not need to know the language. So if people ask me about tech or code, right, I'll just refer to experts which are in my network, like blockchain experts or like people who actually code. Yeah, which is very interesting because I actually took like very basic courses on how to create smart contracts. So I actually know how to write smart contracts. Is it basic? Yeah, I think it's probably basic. Like if to write like anyone who want to launch their own coin, right, would know how to write smart contract at the basics lah. Yeah. So so I wanted to view opportunities in the blockchain space from the angle of business model. So if I fail in this, right, then I'll miss out on the huge money making opportunities in blockchain fintech space that does not involve trading. I actually have a goal to like retire early and spend more time with family and loved ones. Currently, I think I'm in a very good space lah. So this one is a bit outdated. So I will also not be able to help my clients reach out to more people. Blockchain projects I actually want to help are like more of the NGO side and also more of like projects that can actually contribute to help nature lah, not really harm nature. Okay, this is personal. And then I wanted to do more enterprise and business education to help business processes become more efficient. So so I took action, signed up for many blockchain and fintech classes to like know what people are teaching. I also went to a lot of blockchain conferences and also networked extensively. So results, I was invited to like more than 50 blockchain fintech conferences. My network increased many times, which is I'm very thankful for lah. And then also become very good friends with many personalities in the blockchain cryptocurrency space. So also help people around me get results. Like business practitioners will also call me and they will ask like, oh, what's going on with the SEC space, like the security token space, because So the difference between utility tokens and security tokens is that security tokens promise you a return. So a lot of business owners and very rich people, right, they want to know what's going on in the space, because is it like your IPO stocks, security tokens, or is it like some random thing that cannot be predicted or that is too volatile? Yeah. So yeah, Dr. Liu basically sometimes he will call me lah. Okay, but the things are private, so I cannot say anything wrong. Okay, then for this one is another another lady. So she basically say that I was educating her on blockchain and cryptocurrency, because I think to beginners it can feel intimidating sometimes when you want to enter the space. So yeah, educated her. Okay, so let's take a moment to visualize lah. Like blockchain technology, they offer a lot of opportunities. Like you have more money, peace of mind. You can have better business processes. You can serve non-profit organizations. Okay, in this case, the non-profit organizations is that for charity, right? Like how do we know, like if let's say we donate $100 to a charity organization, how do you know that the organization does not take a huge percentage cut of the $100 and in the end only $10 go to the beneficiary? You won't know that, right? But if you have blockchain technology, right, you can actually know that. So it's a very good thing lah. Then you want to invest safely and avoid scams. At the very minimal, protect your capital so that you don't lose your capital lah. But having said that, right, I have a lot because I've been in this space for quite long already, so I got scammed before, and I also lost my private keys before. So you guys should be careful about it. Don't lose private keys, and don't give anyone your private keys. Yeah, so hopefully can share my experiences also so that you can avoid it. Okay, ready to learn about blockchain and cryptocurrency? Please type yes in the chat. No way typing yes. Okay, great. Okay, thank you. At least I know people are answering. Okay, perfect. Okay, so the secret one is like hype of something more. What is this Bitcoin? It's a historical chart. This is ridiculous, like so ridiculous. Okay, so what happened in 2017, right? You can see that, from 2017 to 2018. 2018 Jan, I think. Like second week of Jan. Yeah. So you see like hyperbolic. Then after that, now it's the same thing happening. It's like here they hyperbolic. So will it continue? It's a big question. However, I can tell you, right, recently there is like how much? This morning I read that there was this Mt. Gox wallet. Okay, Mt. Gox is this cryptocurrency, I think one of the first ever cryptocurrency exchanges that was built. So I think in 2016, correct? I need to check the year, but in 2016, right, if I'm not wrong, it got hacked. And the CEO of Mt. Gox, the exchange, right, she committed suicide because it was too much pressure. They stole too much Bitcoin already. So what happened here is that this morning, a Mt. Gox wallet, right, actually transferred 600 Bitcoin out of the wallet. So basically, it means that they want to sell the coin already lah. So it corresponded with today's price at USD 23,000 plus lah, which is Sing dollar 32K already. When you see very big transactions like that, like 600 Bitcoin being transferred out of the wallet to another exchange for them to have liquidity to sell, right, you know that something is going on already. So my take is that if anyone wants to buy Bitcoin right now, right, it's a bit risky. However, you can wait for 1 month and see what happens. I personally think it will crash in 1 month's time. Within 1 month might crash a bit. However, Bitcoin, in my opinion, is a very good, if you do dollar cost averaging, right, it's a very good thing because I feel that it will probably go up again. Why? I will explain soon. Yeah, let someone else in. Okay, so Bitcoin at a glance, right? Let me just briefly go through three characteristics of Bitcoin so that we can understand it better. Yeah, let me mute. Hi, David. Sorry, I have to mute you. Okay, so number one is peer-to-peer. So the concept of Bitcoin, right, was officially introduced in 2008. So there's this anonymous programmer. He called himself Satoshi Nakamoto. Nobody knows who he is until today, right? Nobody knows who he is. Nobody knows whether it's a group. Nobody knows whether he or she, the nationality. Basically, nobody knows. Everything is just speculation. So Satoshi Nakamoto, right, described Bitcoin as a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. It's something like how you transfer files lah. So there are a lot of peer-to-peer network like BitTorrent when you transfer files or transfer music or do things illegally. Yeah, it's the same thing. So this system, right, is completely decentralized, which implies that no server is involved and it does not require any centralized authority. So basically, if I want to transact with you, right, I don't have to go through the permission of some central party. So we have the power, you see. And because now this kind of transaction is possible with technology, yeah, like no central authority can control our data. This is the power of Bitcoin. Okay, number two is cryptography. So photo is supposed to appear, but okay, never mind. So cryptography is like, think of it like a kind of technology, right, that has a private and public key. So basically, whatever you need it's like a code lah. It's like a secret code. So to decipher the secret code, right, you need your private key, and only the receiver and the sender will know. So let me see how to simplify it further. Okay, each transaction is a file that consists of the recipient's and sender's public key as well as the amount of coin which is transferred. So if you're on a public blockchain platform like Bitcoin, right, all your information like how much is transferred and from which wallet address will be known to the public. You can actually go to Bitcoin Explorer to find out who is doing the transaction, who as in which wallet. So the sender also need to sign off the transaction with the aid of their private key. This means, right, your private key, right, you should only be the person who is knowing it. It cannot be known to other people, because once anyone has your private key, they have access to all the funds in your wallet. Okay, the third one is mining. So a Bitcoin has a mining system, which is called proof of work. Mining is not like someone digging the ground and things like that. Mining is simply someone doing work. So the someone is actually a node. A node is defined as, think of it as a computer. Like, so the computer solves the match problem in the Bitcoin protocol, the Bitcoin consensus system. So after they solve the match problem, right, X number of Bitcoin will be awarded to the person who owns the node, which is person who owns the computer software. So once the transaction is confirmed, the transaction is irreversible, immutable, and miner would receive a reward for as well as the transaction fee. So you see your Bitcoin, right, as compared to say fiat money, your USD or your Sing dollar, it actually is more secure. It's not less secure. Later we'll talk about fiat money and I'll show you your note. I'll tell you something about the fiat money we have. Okay, then there's also social, political, and economic implication on Bitcoin. This one is very important. If you are thinking of buying Bitcoin or Ethereum, right? Yeah, this is actually pretty important. Number one, social, right? Bitcoin removes centralized system because remember it's peer-to-peer, right? So I can send money to you and you can send money to me. You can send money to anyone you want without any central authority to control it lah. So let's say I come up with my own coin, like Apple coin. Then I ask you lah, do you want Apple coin? Let's say I buy your apples and I say I want to pay in my Apple coin. Do you accept or not? So if you choose to accept, right, for whatever reasons, right, then then I can pay you and then you can give me apples in return. So if you don't choose to accept, right, there's no consensus and that's it, there's no trade. So the question here, as with all fiat system, right, anytime you have a money thing involved, right, it's all about consent. You can choose to like don't accept. You can choose to accept. Once you choose to accept, and once a lot of people choose to accept the same coin, right, then there is trade going on, and then your coin will have value. It's as simple as that. People often mistake or get mistaken about Bitcoin, or they feel that they cannot understand Bitcoin because, like, why would someone accept Bitcoin? Like, it's very arbitrary. Okay, but the point is this: there are a lot of reasons why someone would accept something. It's not logical. So firstly, when we talk about Bitcoin, right, don't expect it to be logical. Look at consensus. Look at whether they accept or not. Like, really, if you take a step back, right, there are a lot of things in life, right? Why people accept certain things, why people don't accept certain things. It boils down to emotion and human nature, and also what the society views as correct or wrong. So this social thing, right, why some people accept Bitcoin, right, is because they feel that they don't want the centralized authority to have so much power. That's why they accept Bitcoin. And that's why they want to promote Bitcoin. Then political is like anything to do with power or lack of power or loss of power, right, is political. So cryptocurrencies by their very nature are political because no single government can control them unless the government go and create their own coin. You see who is doing that? The China, because they know it's political. So if I don't want you to accept Bitcoin, right, then I create my own coin, which is what they are doing. The third one is economic reasons. Bitcoin is like the sheer power of it is an alternative system. So you see the USD, right? USD will affect basically most, if not all, national currencies around the world. So now what they doing, like last week they just printed more money. I think in trillions. Like it doesn't even make sense. It doesn't compute. Okay, so basically, right, you think about it. Now they print more money, quantitative easing. So your value per USD actually drop. So Bitcoin, right, actually is an alternative system that's not controlled by any single powerful entity that allows you to store value. Because you think about it in those high net worth people, right, or like very, very rich people who are basically controlling the world because they are so rich, right, they can employ a lot of people and they can do whatever they want. They are thinking of how to use money to make more money. So let's say let's say I have full knowledge that my US dollar is dropping in value every day because the central bank, the Federal Reserve, is printing money like crazy, right? Then why would I keep my money or my wealth in US dollar? I will not do that. I'll find other places to put my money in, like say stocks like Tesla. I'm not asking you to buy Tesla. Tesla a bit volatile now. Bitcoin, like my gold, silver. You see, if let's say got war, right? At least you buy gold, right? Gold still got some form of value that is like accepted in the community. Like, or you can buy things like silver, you can buy things like oil. All these are like tangible stuff they can buy. In times of war, do you think US dollar will have value? It won't drop to zero, but of course it won't be like as the pre-war level, and they are still printing a lot of money. So the point here in the point of view of very rich entities, family officers, or high net worth individuals, right? They will always find a place that maximizes or optimizes their returns on capital. So basically, if I cannot put my money in USD like I would 10 years ago, or I cannot put my money in Japanese yen like I would 10 years ago, where would I put my money? So a lot of institutions, right, are moving towards Bitcoin, which is also part of why that you see a parabolic rise here, because institutions are coming in. You have PayPal, which 1 month ago decided that, okay, now I accept payment in Bitcoin and Ethereum. So because institutions are holding Bitcoin and like things like cryptocurrency, you see bulk buying, and that affects the price of everything else. Next question is, will it crash or not? I think it will crash lah, but it won't crash until 0. It definitely will not crash until 0. I can guarantee that. Crash until 1,000 or not. I hope lah, then I buy more. Yeah. Okay, wait. I've been talking a lot. So at this point, right, do you have any questions for anything about Bitcoin that I can address? You can ask in the chat. Is everything okay? Like, am I being too technical? I'm trying not to be technical already. Like, really not. Okay, okay. If any point you have any questions, right, just ask in the chat, not an issue. Okay, so the next one is what is blockchain technology and 3 key concepts you must know. Okay, the thing about this thing about what is blockchain, right? You have basically blockchain is the simplest explanation. Think of it like a chain of blocks. So you have block 1, block 2, block 3, and you form the blockchain. Okay, basically it's a storage of data. So inside each block, right, you have storage of data. Block 1 is the genesis block. That means it's not linked to any prior blocks, and that's why your previous hash is a dash. It is not linked to any previous block, right? So your current hash is precisely your previous hash, and then basically you basically have like your block 2, right, is linked to your block 1, and the hash has to follow block 1. So that's why your data inside, right, is immutable, because let's say you have block 2 with certain data, like I like Apple. Let's say this is your data. Your blockchain will actually follow the hash of block 2, which is cryptographically generated. So it cannot be changed really. So because your block 3 next hash, right, has a link to the previous hash, that is I like Apple, anytime you change something in block 2, right, block 3 will be affected also, and the whole thing will be invalid. This is why blockchain is known as immutable and transparent. So a blockchain is a data structure that is made up of blocks of transactions. Blocks are linked to each other using the hash of the previous block. So anytime you change the data of a previous block, right, the whole subsequent hashes and blocks will actually change. Okay, we have a question by David. Who determines the value of blockchain currency value? If there's no control body, anything goes. Please advise. Yes, correct. Anything goes. I'm not sure whether you heard what I said just now, because you just entered, right? The thing about blockchain technology, right, or Bitcoin. Actually, you're talking about Bitcoin, not blockchain technology per se. Bitcoin, the idea is like that. It's like as with all currency, the fundamental is consensus, which is consent. Meaning, like, let's say you want to sell me Apple, and I ask you, I say, can I pay you in USD? Then if you don't want to accept USD, then there's no trade, because you refuse to accept my USD for your Apple, correct? So the fundamental to trade is consent. Whether it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, gold, silver, oil, you want to pay in oil, if I accept, then there's a trade lah. If I don't accept, there's no trade, right? So what determines the value, right? To answer you is consent. So the next question is what determines consent? It's a societal thing. It is a human nature thing. It's how I persuade you to accept. It's nothing to do with logic. Once you can accept that it's nothing to do with logic, nothing to do with mathematics. Okay, if mathematics affect whether you accept or not, then it's another thing lah. If you can accept that it's to do with emotion, then it's easier for you to see how the space will go. Okay, David, I will talk more about this in the subsequent slides. Okay, so meanwhile, just accept that it's not logical. It's motivated by societal consensus. Is it enforceable under the law? What is it? Okay, Fimoy has a question. How do we profit from Bitcoin if your Bitcoin value only rises when there is transaction between two parties? Do we buy Bitcoin with the intention like stock price will increase? What's the difference? I don't understand your first question. How do we profit from? Can you clarify your first question? How do we profit from Bitcoin if your Bitcoin?
Yeah, so I think you mentioned in the earlier point that For example, if you have our own unique Bitcoin, the value only increases when more people use my coin, for example. So let's say, okay, we just want to make money, right? So do I buy a Bitcoin? Do I create my own Bitcoin? How can we just profit from Bitcoin? Just on that. Do we buy a Bitcoin and hoping that it increase? Do we buy our own unique Bitcoin and hope people will transact with us?
Okay, good question. Okay, the difference of Bitcoin and Ethereum, right, is that the only useful use case of Bitcoin is buy and sell. Yeah, so basically people who hold Bitcoin, right, they either want to use it to pay for something else, or they just want to speculate. That's the unique point about Bitcoin as compared to Ethereum. Ethereum is a bit more complicated because Ether, right, which is the currency of Ethereum blockchain, it can be used to be paid to do smart contract. So that's the difference. How do we profit, right? Like you think about use case law. So like as more and more institutions regard Bitcoin as a store of value due to the volatility of USD or oil or gold, they want to put their money in a place where they think there is a good return on investment, then they will put there. So basically, as retail investors, it might be wise to actually follow what institutions are going for. So you see there's a trend that more and more institutions and family offices are using Bitcoin as a store of value or as a means of investment tool because they think there will be a high ROI, or because they think other institutions are doing the same thing as that, then they will put money into Bitcoin. And whether you want to follow that or not is your own discretion. Okay, then your next question is, do we buy Bitcoin with the intention like stock price will increase? What's the difference? Bitcoin has no fundamentals like stock price. Stock price, you have value investing, go and look at the revenue, look at the financial sheet. There's no financial sheet to Bitcoin. That's why I say, right, Bitcoin is a matter of consent. So you have to see how many people will buy in. So when people buy in, the price will go up. The difference between now and 2 years ago is that at 2 years ago, 2017, Bitcoin reached 20,000 USD. Now, right, Bitcoin is at 25K, if I'm not wrong, as per today. It is all-time high. So the difference between these 2 years, right, is because institutions are actually seeing Bitcoin as a store of value now. In 2 years ago, they do not see it as a store of value. Why store of value? Because you see US market, right, the Federal Reserve is printing a lot of US dollar. That's why they do not see US dollar as a store of value currently. So they switch to Bitcoin as a safer place, which is very ironic because Bitcoin is no fundamentals. You can see as no fundamentals as compared to your original stock. Is there a risk? There is a risk, but don't you think there's a bigger risk holding USD? Because people are printing like nobody's business. So this one is like a fundamental we all need a fundamental renewal of our mindset. Like whatever you think is safe in like 2 years ago, right, may not be safe now. Yeah. Hope that gives some insight.
Got it. Thanks, Manwei.
Okay, no problem. Okay, for David, is it enforceable under the law? No, it's not. But your regulators are trying to enforce it. In general, right, give it like 3 to 5 years. So like blockchain world will do something, right? Let's say you do X. Your regulators will take 3 to 5 years to understand what is X, how to control X, what is X. Then by the time the regulators figure it out, right, what is the X in 5 years ago, right, the X today, right, is already become like Y or Z or A or B. So regulators that's why this pays a lot of money on because it's so volatile, because regulators take 3 to 5 years to catch up and to find out what's going on. Okay, this is very interesting. Very good question, David, because you made me think also. This is a very interesting question because you think about it, regulators, for people in regulators, especially Singapore, MAS, don't quote me on this is my opinion. So MAS, people who are hired into MAS, they have certain kind of mindset. They are very fixed in the mindset in general, because of protocol, because of bureaucracy. So people who are doing the blockchain things, right, or doing cryptocurrency space, right, they have another mindset, which is they cannot be restricted by bureaucracy. It's literally just break things as it goes. It's very consistent with the Mark Zuckerberg Facebook mindset. So they just do, then do make money. It's okay, you break things, we fix it later. That's the mentality. So you see, mentality is different. One is like we cannot break things, because that's the point of Singapore MAS. You want stability, you want everything to be nice and not volatile. You want a safe place for your investors. And then for your Bitcoin people don't think like that. They just like just go, and just be disruptors, be innovators. So the question of is it enforceable under the laws, right? Technically, the answer is yes lah. It should be lah, but in practice, right? No, definitely not. Okay, Miron. If all the institutions investors are buying in, why are we anticipating a crash? Because they are also selling. So basically, your institutions investors are buying in due to the function of store of value. So what this means is that if one day your US, your Federal Reserve say, oh shit, like we decide to stop printing money, or they say, okay, this is too unsustainable already. The interest rate is so low. My bonds are like negative soon, or things like Donald Trump going crazy. And oh, by the way, this is really going on. There is some conspiracy theory going on that Trump might not even leave the White House. But anyway, if it all depends on what happened to the USD and what happened to other assets. So currently institutional investors are buying in because they see it as a store of value, and because they know that in the short term, right, US will be printing a lot of money. But then there are also institutional investors who will see that, okay, this is too crazy, parabolic. You saw the curve just now, it's like going like parabolic. So they think, okay, maybe in the short term, I already make enough money, especially if I buy it at $100 and now it's like 100 USD and now it's 25,000 USD. I sell it's okay. I sell a bit. That's why you have the morning transaction, 600 Bitcoin moving out of Mount God. So why are we anticipating? No, it's not we anticipating a crash. It's I anticipate a crash. So I don't encourage people to actually buy now. If I were to encourage, I would say wait for 1 month and see what happens, because this feels too much like 2017. 2017 at this point in time, it's also parabolic, as you can see from the chart. It's parabolic, and later you see a like 90% crash or 80% crash across all cryptocurrency. So yeah, this is my recommendation. However, you can do your own research. You can agree, disagree, and make your own judgment. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, so the concept one to understanding blockchain technology is that it actually removes your middleman. So middleman is like bank. Let's say a banking transaction, right? You actually, a bank is like how they make money, right? If they take retail people like all of us, not common middle class people, or not, okay, we define as not high net worth individuals. They take our money, give us interest rate on saving. This pool of money, they lend out to people, also retail people, or maybe companies, enterprises, your high net worth. And then they make the money through the difference in interest rate. So blockchain technology, right, they actually remove the middleman because of this concept called smart contract. Smart contract is available on Ethereum blockchain. Smart contract is like that. It's like you the conditions of the trade are coded into the blockchain protocol itself. So once I have a smart contract, I say, okay, let's say I want to sell Apple to you and you want to buy from me, right? So I say, I will sell Apple to you on these following conditions. Number one, if the Apple is bought at $1 USD. Number two, if let's say you are paying me USD. Number three, if you seem like no, let's make it clearer. If you have bought Apple from me before, then if these three conditions are fulfilled, then I sell the Apple to you. So because of this smart contract, which is a technology, right, I can trade with you even though I have not met you before in person, or even though there's no middleman, to ensure that if anything goes wrong with you, like your if the trade got something wrong, the middleman will bear the risk. Right now, I can trade with you directly. So the conditions, because the conditions can now be coded into a contract using technology, it can be automated. So smart contracts will make transactions even faster. Whether this is good or not is up to you to decide. Okay, then next, right, blockchain technology disrupt the concept of fiat money. I will show you a fiat money now. Give me a minute here. Okay, you see a Sing dollar, right? Every Sing dollar, right? I'm showing $50. Every Sing dollar, right, here, right, will say this note is legal tender. So let me explain what legal tender. Legal tender, right, means like Sing dollar in Singapore, if I owe you money, and I want to pay Sing dollar in Singapore, by law, right, you cannot reject my Sing dollar. So for instance, let's say I bill you, I owe you money, right? Yeah, okay, you bill me in you bill me in USD lah. So you say that, oh, okay, last time you sell a television to me at 1,000 USD. So if in Singapore context, right, if both of us are transacting in Singapore and also I have a contract with you in USD, right? By law, right, if I want to pay your USD in Sing dollar, right, you cannot reject because this note is legal tender. Legal tender precisely by definition means that as long as you are physically located in Singapore, you cannot reject my offering of Sing dollar in our contract. Yeah. So you see, how do centralized entities force consensus, right? Back to David's question, it's simply this, this note is legal tender. And this note is just a piece of paper. Right? If you think about it, it's ridiculous. No, like seriously, take some time to think about it. I know, like I say this, it's very hard to internalize lah. I do agree lah. Okay, but this is a piece of paper. This is a piece of paper. You think about it. How many middle class people, right? We are trading our time, effort, resources for a piece of paper. Is it worth it or not? Then after you think about it, it gets philosophical. So the point is, how do centralized entities or people with power actually enforce this thing about consensus, right? Which is consent. It's basically the law. So they do it through the law. 100 years ago, when it is like when paper money is first introduced or any form of fiat currency is introduced, right? It's basically people force the consent by violence. Meaning, 100 years ago, right? Let's say the same trade. 100 years ago, no television. We say things like, let's say a horse. They need transportation, right? So a horse. So I buy this horse from you at 1,000 rare pebbles, very rare, or let's say rare gold or something. Yeah. So how the centralized powerful people force the consensus and force the consent, right, is through violence. So I take a gun like that. They say, if you don't accept, right, I'm going to shoot you. So you must accept the rare pebbles. And if, let's say, you reject, then you die lah. Yeah, so this is how they force consent. So 100 years ago, they use it by violence. It's not a joke, okay? It's documented. If you want to read the documentation, I can send to you. There was this very excellent article about how the history of money. It is well documented. So 100 years ago, they used violence. They used a gun. So you don't accept, I kill you lah. And right now, we are using the law. If you don't accept illegal, you can be sent to jail. So you want to take the risk. Plus the fact that everyone else around us in society is using Sing dollar. Right? You don't use Japanese yen to pay for things here. Oh, by the way, the same contract of the television, right? If I want to pay you in Japanese yen in Singapore, you can reject me. You can say, what is this? You're in Singapore, why you use Japanese yen to pay me back? I still have to bear the conversion risk. However, if it's billable in USD and transacted in Singapore, you cannot reject Sing dollar because this note is legal tender. So remember, yeah. So now how we are running our life is through fiat currency, right? So why is it so hard to reimagine a life that we are paying things by Bitcoin? Is to some people, let's say Venezuela, the currency like crazy and volatile. It's very common to accept money in Bitcoin because firstly, the ROI is very high, and secondly, is like appreciating asset instead of a depreciating asset like Venezuela currency. So maybe to Singaporeans, it is a bit hard to accept that Bitcoin can be used as an alternative form of currency because Sing dollar is pretty stable. You have MAS, which is awesome for maintaining a floating exchange rate for Sing dollar. But is it true for other currency or not? It's not true. That's why I think Singaporeans maybe it's a bit harder for us to get a concept of alternative forms of money as compared to people in nations which the currency a bit crazy one. Yeah. Okay, another question. Do you think Bitcoin can be considered as a robust long-term asset? My answer is yes. However, that's my opinion, so do your own research. This is not investment advice. Okay, by robust, I define it as like having enough forces to cause chaos in the system that it will still persist over the long term. Bitcoin is here to stay because we have enough evidence to see that institutions are actually holding as a store of value because the USD is a bit not stable. Yeah, my personal answer is yes. Okay, the concept 3, right, which is linked to your robust question, is that blockchain industry is about alignment of self-interest. You can see the tech people, okay, we take a step back. Would you agree with me, right, that when you don't care about anything about the project, any projects you do, any mission you do in life, in the short term, right, if you tell people, right, okay, we just focus on this project for 1 year, we will definitely make money. And the money we make is like 5 times, 10 times of whatever you would make elsewhere. So if I think of it, if it's nothing unethical, if it's nothing immoral, I would do it. Because even if, let's say, it's boring like crazy, right? Okay, I cannot do boring stuff, but let's say this project, if someone tell me that it is not illegal, okay, or change the phrasing. This project is legal, is moral, and is ethical, and you will make 10 times more money as compared to your previous year. Will you do this project? Most people, I can guarantee you, will say yes. Because it's legal, it's moral, it's ethical. So this blockchain industry is filled with projects like that. There are of course shady projects like some project you see the coin value increase by 20 times, then after a certain time it crashes. Will you say it's unethical because it crashes? Of course not, because people who buy in, they are motivated by greed, and people who like suddenly when it crash, when they lose money, it is nobody's fault, because when they go in, they expected the price to be a certain level, and when it crashed, they are wrong. So will you call it unethical? It's only unethical when people make false promises in the PR and marketing front. So as long as the PR and marketers, they don't make any false promises or misrepresentation of product, I think it's perfectly fine. So my point here is that blockchain industry, it is sometimes easier to work in the industry because people's motivations are very clear. It's money. It's like you don't pretend to want to create a better world for all, blah blah blah. Yes, some people might feel that it's better world for all in the longer term, and if the project is sustainable, and if they code it into the design of project. However, for most blockchain or cryptocurrency project, it's lasting for, if it can last for 5 years, it's very good already. So this industry, right, you have all sorts of people with expertise working together. Investor relations, your community builders, your tech people, your PR people, your business development people. So it's all about alignment of interest with the aim of increasing the coin price so that everyone is rich. Yeah, currently it's still like that. It's not very idealistic, even though a lot of people try to make it very idealistic. But you don't see what people say, you see what they do with the action. Yeah, like that. So alignment of self-interest. Okay. Any questions at this point? We will go on to the third part already. Just now, the second part is on blockchain, like what you need to know about blockchain. Bitcoin is just one use case of blockchain technology. Remember, did you ask this question? This was the question you typed to me in the Facebook chat, right?
Yeah, this was the questions I typed to you earlier on.
Yeah, so no worries. I will address. I actually copy and paste into the slide at the
Okay, then leave it there.
Yeah. Okay, sure, thanks. Okay, no questions about second part. Okay, I go to the part. Oh my god, it's okay. Sorry, I'm that's not the second part. That's the first part. Okay, so secret two, right? How is secret three or secret two? I think it's secret three. I think it's typo. Okay, how blockchain is disrupting industry. 3 examples and use cases. So Bitcoin is just one use case of blockchain technology. So now let me go through very quickly about areas of disruption. So first area that your blockchain can disrupt is banking and finance. That's why your fintech. Okay, I know this is a Bitcoin kind of sharing session, right? But I want to draw your attention to fintech. I personally believe, let's say you are how many people, I'm just curious, how many people here are actually invested in stocks already? Can you all type in the chat? Like you all buy things like Alibaba, like recently crashed. Okay, great, there more. Okay, great. US stock. Well, US stock very volatile now. I think 2021 also very volatile. Yeah, my point here is that this is a very good time to look in fintech stocks. Like you have, let's say, I'm quite heavily invested in SEA Group, which is your Shopee, your Garena, and they are going to fintech also. There are a lot of companies going to fintech actually. So digital payments is something that you might want to look into because it will continue to grow. And so if you are doing value investing, right, it might be a good area to look into. And then the next natural step of fintech company, right, would be to use blockchain. Your cloud technology, cloud computing, then you have blockchain, and then you have smartphone. All these three together will lead to like huge revolution. So if you have extra money put into do consider putting into fintech also. That is quite useful. Okay, so we look at it. Currently, you have 1.7 billion people, right? Adults, defined as above 21 years old, do not have a bank account. So nearly half of all unbanked adults live in 7 economies. And then rural parts of China, India, Pakistan, Indonesia, they do not have bank account. Meaning they are either unbanked or they are, okay, they don't have bank account means they are unbanked for sure. So worldwide, right, most unbanked adults are women, and then they are overrepresented among the unbanked in most economies. So what this means is that this will affect society as well. Like say, if more women than men are unbanked, it means that they have limited access to finance, meaning they cannot own their own houses as easily. They are subjected to more kinds of their range of choices in life is like less. So they might have greater dependency on men, or they might have limited choice sets in life. So the point here is that why are people unbanked? It's because there are barriers to entry. So first, some people in rural areas do not have ID. We have lack of citizenship, documentation, credentials. Then second one is not enough money or wealth. So they do not have sufficient entry level funds required to access and maintain financial service. I think for UOB, right? Can't remember which bank. Okay, never mind. Let's say UOB, right? You need at least like $3,000 Sing in your account. If not, a minimum balance will be charged. So if you want to, let's say you're living day by day, right? I know like for all of us here, the fact that we're on Zoom and we're invested in certain stock, it's very hard for us to imagine that we don't even have $3,000 in our bank account. But for a lot of people in Singapore, it's a reality. So let's say the person is living day to day, right? Like one day earn 100, for instance, then it's not enough to maintain. They have to be subjected to the monthly fee of like $7.50, which is a lot. It's like if one day I earn $100, $7.50 is like 7.5% of my total daily pay. It's really a lot. So in rural parts of China, they don't even earn like USD $2 a day. So how to maintain bank account, right? Then the third one is location. The nearest financial institution is too far away. So you're living in rural area of the Philippines, China. Like no banks will find it profitable enough to actually serve the rural community. Okay, so basically blockchain technology will help that. It will bank the unbanked. So relatively new phenomenon, which is decentralized finance. This is relatively new in the sense that it's like maybe 2 years old. It's ridiculous for me to say this, like 2 years old is considered relatively new phenomenon, right? Now at least the space is a bit more stabilized, a bit. So decentralized finance describe a non-centralized financial system that is built on public blockchains like Bitcoin, Ethereum. That's why you see a lot of projects on Ethereum like moving like 10 times, 20 times, 30 times. Like your Uniswap, suddenly a lot of hype goes into decentralized finance. So Bitcoin, Ethereum are examples of foundational open source networks that could be used to change how the global economy works. So in DeFi, the unbanked will have access to apps that use public blockchain to participate in new open global markets. So financial services, you have banking, insurance, mutual funds, payment processing companies, and so on and so forth. Basically, to even loan money, you need a bank account to borrow money. You need a credit history to borrow money. Borrow money to, say, do a business, to get high returns, to, do a lot of things. So how do you participate in decentralized finance? You just need a smartphone, internet connection. You as the consumer, then you can start using Bitcoin to store, send, and receive money. There is a downside to it. If let's say you're using a centralized wallet, then you do not own the private keys. Meaning, if one day the company go bankrupt, right, then you die also, your money there, right? Then if you are using your own private keys, right, which is hardware wallet, like your Ledger S Nano, then you have to protect the private keys because for my case, right, I actually lost private key twice. So one was 5 digits. The other one was really a very, very random coin. I think I was supporting a friend. Okay, I have this good and bad habits of supporting friends because I have a lot of friends who start their own projects. So I'll put USD $1,000. So yeah, so what happened with this project is I didn't put in money, as in I think I opened an account or something, and then there was like 10 or 20 coins inside. And then it went up to 500 plus USD 3 months ago. It's called Sora coin. Yeah, then I forgot the key. So things like that. So basically, if you hold Bitcoin, make sure you protect your private key. That's my advice. Don't lose money like me. So decentralized finance is cheap and fast. It's also more secure than your mobile banking. Your average global remittance fee is 7%. BITCC centralized finance, the fees can be below 3%. So your public blockchain can also interact with a traditional financial system to create new hybrid model. So you can see it's a perfect storm. Financial institutions are turning to digital assets. And then your 3.9 billion internet users by the end of 2018. Now it's even more. And 2 out of 3 unbanked populations have smartphones. So actually this Bitcoin thing, right, or blockchain, actually serving a lot of like people who may not have enough fiat currency to actually go to a bank to do services, but they have smartphones and they have internet. Even if the internet is very slow, right, as long as you have an account, because of cloud computing, the data is stored on cloud. Yeah, so it's actually a very good space to be in. So now how blockchain affects the way people do business, right? Enterprise also give user control about how their digital identity is shared. So this is Salesforce. Salesforce, they are starting their blockchain use cases for enterprises. Salesforce is interesting because it does not have cryptocurrency. So they are using blockchain tech. They are not caring about the hype money side. So now for Salesforce blockchain is a low-code blockchain platform. What does this mean? This means that the end user does not need to know code to be able to use the blockchain. Meaning that like normal people, right, they will go to Salesforce platform, and through the very intuitive UI or UX, they will actually do the blockchain, explore the blockchain system. So they have actual clients. They have like universities using it, IQVIA using it, S&P Global Ratings using it. So clients are paying people, like not like some hype thing like, oh, potential use case. Okay, in blockchain white paper, you want to see whether someone is smoking you or not. Ask for actual clients. Actual clients mean that they pay you. Once they pay you, right, they see value in it. So the back end looks like this, which is very intuitive. You don't need to know code. This is the process builder. Like you can say that, okay, start, then what will happen, and then you make a decision, true or false, and then you go on. So this is very intuitive. You can do, anyone can do it. You just need to follow the process. Then the code will be generated in the back end. And if you want like data, you can just one click to export it to Excel or PDF. So it's very easy. Data from the blockchain that is. So you don't really need to know code to use it. So it's very powerful as an enterprise tool. Okay, third area of disruption, which is digitalizing assets. Okay, so a little controversial here. So if you have a cat plus luxury bags, what will you get? Make a guess in the chat. Anyone want to guess? Okay, never mind. Then I review. So it's CryptoKitties. So CryptoKitties actually, became this collectible, and a lot of crypto collectors are actually spending a lot of money on it lah. So the question is, why would you spend like over 100K USD on a cat that is not even real? Yes, so the most expensive CryptoKitty was sold at equivalent of 110,707 USD in December 2017. So basically, you can also issue digital assets on blockchain so that this actually benefits creative people and also artistic people. Okay, any questions at this point, you can type in the chat. Okay, no questions, so I continue. So I hope you are enjoying this masterclass. Would it be okay to let me know what's your biggest aha moment so far? Anything at all? Like, I would appreciate if everyone type something. Let's take 2 minutes to type something. Like, do you learn anything so far, or is there anything that that you previously did not know and now you found out through the masterclass? Yeah, type it out in the chat, then we can move on. Oh, thank you. Any other aha moments? Actually, Christianly, the rise and fall of cryptocurrency are fundamentally driven by consensus. Thanks for sharing this aha moment. This question, right? Like if you, or rather this realization, every year I will get different realization about it. Like what forms consent, especially from a public relations perspective, right? This question is like, as we get older and more information and more wisdom, the answer is different. Yeah, Miron. Yes, Ethereum has a smart contract. Stellar Lumens also have a smart contract. So not all protocols are the same. No more realization like Gail, Miss Bang, David, Sipei. Any realization? Okay, great. Does it mean that Ether can be reversed if the contract is breached? No, it cannot be reversed. The contract will just not be fulfilled. There's no contract. I mean, no execution of contract if the conditions are not met. Okay, great, David. Okay, if you all have any other like doubts, right, then you can let me know in the chat or anything else. Okay, great realization. Okay, to be honest, relatively new to crypto, so it's quite in-depth for me. Okay. Yeah, because thanks for your comment, Gail. Because so Gail, do you think I should make it even more beginner friendly in future? The context of why I'm asking this is that all this feedback is very precious to me, just to reassure you on that, because I think currently I am doing my best to learn how to explain things such that beginners will get it. I guess need to cater to different levels. Okay, good feedback. Thank you so much. Okay, so recap, right? We have gone through 3 things today. So first is hype or something more. What is this Bitcoin? Second is what is blockchain technology? 3 key concepts you must know. And third is how blockchain is disrupting industry. 3 examples and use cases. So now is like my question to you. Do you want to prosper in the blockchain space with peace of mind? Okay, the context is that, like I said from the start of the masterclass, we're actually doing a new course that is targeted at beginners. So this course is to help people prosper in the blockchain space with a peace of mind. So next is, do you want to profit from the uptrend of Bitcoin and do it right before 2020 ends? So this point, you have 2 choices. One is go at it alone. Take everything I shared with you, test it out. Most likely people will get scammed, most likely. Face challenges, solve it by yourself, try and error, figure it out by yourself, or get it right by being coached and guided by someone who has done it successfully over and over. Okay, I won't make your time. I thought the answer is quite obvious. Okay, so I'll just go through this process, okay? So that's why I introduce everyone to my new course, which is the Blockchain Business Insider. It's a light course. Okay, currently we have a Blockchain Business Insider full course, which is 6 weeks. So that one was just completed, and reviews were really, really good. However, I realized, right, some people in my course, the 6 weeks one, right, they are very new to the space lah, and I find it the one of the feedback was that they found it a bit overwhelming. So I decided to do a light course. So it's actually a handy playbook for beginners to learn blockchain and cryptocurrency. So graduates of the full 6-week program, they said this and more, but I never put because no space. So basically this course, the 6-week course was a really intensive one, but I'm glad everybody enjoyed. So let me go through the Blockchain Business Insider Lite program. So it is for people who want an overview to the blockchain and cryptocurrency space in less than 8 hours instead of 6 weeks. So beginners to the blockchain space who want to prosper in the blockchain space with peace of mind, and also people who want a one-stop content hub and learn from a well-established blockchain practitioner like myself. So the Lite program is for that. So basically, if you don't have trusted people in the blockchain space to ask what is going on, you don't have a compilation of real pitfalls to avoid in the blockchain space, you don't have easy to follow lingo to navigate the space, we can give you all you need. So we have our Blockchain Business Insider Lite program, so you can navigate the space anytime, anywhere, because we want to make it online. Yep. So what this package includes is a 1-year access to the Blockchain Business Insider Lite program, so you can have full confidence to navigate the space with peace of mind anytime, anywhere. You can also, we will also include you to a lifelong access to the Facebook group, so that you can ask questions anytime, anywhere as well. So total value is $1,094. So this is the syllabus to it, like introduction to blockchain tech. You have 6 features of benefits. You have distributed ledger technology. We'll explain it, what it means to you, and how Bitcoin, how blockchain tech actually differs from it, how blockchain works, crypto assets, Bitcoin, Ethereum, different types of crypto assets on the blockchain platforms, different types of tokens, common use cases, and identifying scams in the cryptocurrency space. So we'll also have 1 tutorial session monthly where we talk about the Bitcoin and Ethereum white papers. There are white papers to Bitcoin and Ethereum. Whether you take this course or not, I strongly encourage you to read it on your own, because it is the grounding to how we approach Bitcoin and Ethereum investments. So you can also ask me anything about cryptocurrency and blockchain in the Facebook group or like in the tutorial sessions. So you can join the tutorial session more than once during the 1-year subscription. So if this program, think of it as an insurance. If it can help you identify and avoid scam in the blockchain/cryptocurrency space, will it be worth it? And if all of this program did was to help you identify just one additional stream of income in the blockchain space, will it be worth it? So I have two choices: charge a low price and everyone can join this program; charge more so that it can give you more energy, resources, and importantly, attention. So which would you rather have? Type 1 or 2 in the chat. So funny. You want to type? Keep going, keep going. Charge a lower price and everyone can join this program. Okay, good. Okay, great. Miss Bang also wants. How much do you value knowing how to leverage on the opportunities blockchain technology brings? Or how much will it cost you if you don't take action now? So you can see why it's a good deal at 1094, even if I do charge you at this amount. However, I'm not charging this amount because everyone type 1. So, okay, the thing is that we don't have 10 people who sign up today. So, okay, whoever who sort of message me will get this deal. So, okay, instead of 1094, guess how much I'm offering today? Wait a guess. I know you want to guess. Okay, I'll let you know. Okay, I'm charging USD 197 today. So you ask, why am I giving? Okay, 500 discount. This is not 500 discount. This is 1094 minus whatever it is lah. Okay, I think more than 900. Okay, but anyway, a lot of discount. When I put 500 here, I did not include the Facebook group, so I should update this. Yeah, okay, because it's a new launch and the 100% online program will be fully accessible from 15 January. And basically why I started it, right, apart from the reasons you can read here, is because basically I think there's a need to educate people who are new to the Bitcoin or Ethereum space, because why people want to enter is because they really fear missing out. So there's this fear and greed that motivates all of us. Even when I first entered it, I was also very greedy lah. So I also got scammed. Got scammed like 3 times lah. But I got back my money because like I know people in the space, so it's easy to get my money lah. So that's the context. But not everyone knows what are the characteristics of scam and how to get back money. So that's why I feel that it is very important to have this course. So yes, so a lot of people approached me saying that they have been scammed in the crypto space and I wanted to find a solution for them. So I created this blockchain business insider lite. This is most suitable for beginners and people who just want to invest. Like they don't really care about how blockchain technology will be used in to improve business processes. So people who care about that, right, are actually business owners and entrepreneurs, or people who want to invest in stocks of fintech companies or of blockchain as a service company. Let's say they want to invest in Amazon, Alibaba, but they don't know how blockchain is used or how the blockchain business works. So they take the course for the blockchain business insider, the 6-week one. This one, right, I want to make it like less than 8 hours. So yeah, so that's the context lah. So anyway, I also want to make sure that you get results so that you can make a good video testimonial for the program. So actually at 197, this is a criteria. Like basically, if you enjoy the program, right, and you enjoy what you learn and you apply and you make money, then please make a video testimonial lah. So this is one of the conditions. Yeah. So frequently asked questions, let me go through really quickly. So the difference between Blockchain Business Insider and Blockchain Business Insider Lite is that Blockchain Business Insider is 6-week program. So it has a lot of commitment lah. Like maybe people do tutorial, maybe people write essay, maybe people read white papers. Okay, but Blockchain Business Insider Lite, right, you can finish all videos and tutorial in less than 8 hours. So Blockchain Business Insider Lite is, I do my best to create it for people completely new to the space or just starting out. So if you don't have time to learn, also don't worry, because it enables people to access the portal anytime, anywhere. So if you find it too expensive, it's actually an investment and not a purchase. Treat it like insurance. at less than 200 USD, right? It's really insurance to protect yourself from scams and also to understand at least the fundamentals of Bitcoin and blockchain technology. Okay, so if you want to have the 197 deal, right? But that one have conditions, like just remember, if you enjoy the course, right, you need to do a video testimonial. Yeah. So for people like who attended this webinar, this is 197. And yes. Okay, so now this one, right, you can, people who have me on the Facebook already, right, can just PM me anytime, like before the end of today, to enjoy this deal. If you don't want to join, it's also okay. Don't feel obligated or whatever. This is a sharing session, and I just wanted to get feedback, which I really appreciate from you guys. Okay, so now next to Miriam's question, right? If you now it's a Q&A session, so you want to type more questions apart from all these, right? Just let me know also. I appreciate all questions because this is something that we are doing our best. We are actually creating this library, right? So that anybody who come to us with questions, we want to give good answers so that people have the right understanding of the space. Okay, in your opinion, what is the main hurdle for crypto to get mass adoption? The main hurdle is actually consensus. So it's back to the question. Where? Who commented just now? Like Chris Andy's comment just now is this thing called consensus. Consensus means consent. Then we take a step back. What engineers consent? Like 5 years ago, if I buy Bitcoin, if I buy coffee with Bitcoin, I'm actually drinking coffee now. You think about it now, like if I go to the coffee shop and tell the uncle, I want to buy iced kopi C kosong. I pay you in Bitcoin, can or not? Then the uncle will be like, what is Bitcoin, right? So this is your main hurdle. Consent. How do you engineer consent for the uncle at the coffee shop to get him to accept Bitcoin? The first step is actually digital payment, right? The coffee shop this one, right? I usually don't hold cash. Like, I do a lot of transactions with like digital payments, credit cards. Yeah, I usually really rarely hold cash. So I need to remind myself to keep holding cash because I wasn't in Singapore for very long. My last stop was actually in Europe. So I was in Europe for 4 years and everyone was using debit. There's nobody who use euro on. So like I come back and get culture shock. So if one day, right, imagine in your daily life, right, the uncle at the coffee shop accept Bitcoin. Then we think backwards, like what is needed, what steps are needed for that uncle to accept Bitcoin happily and excitedly. Then that is the main hurdle. So we can all think about it. The second part is that, okay, let me recap. 100 years ago, people to accept this thing, right? No, to accept pebbles. Do I have pebbles on the table? No, I don't. To accept rare pebbles or rare stones, right? You can think of gold and silver as rare stones. To accept rare stone, right? They need gun, they need violence to tell you that if you don't accept, you'll die. Fast forward 100 years later, we have notes like that. So, I mean, what's different? I just be a bit controversial. I have tissue paper here. What's the difference between tissue paper and note? The difference is in this note is legal tender. It's like if in Singapore, I don't accept, I owe you money and you don't accept my Sing dollar, you can go to jail. You can reject tissue paper. I can pay you in 50 Sing dollars worth of tissue paper. You can reject it. You can say, this is crazy, I don't want tissue paper, right? So 100 years later, instead of violence, they use the law. But law is enough to scare a lot of people, because you go to jail, you lose your freedom, you lose your face, you face a lot of shame. So these are part of how it leads to consensus. Bitcoin, as we went through just now, is political, social, economic. So there are these implications which actually are invisible forces to force people or to inspire people to actually hold Bitcoin. So these are things to think about. And I would like to stress that it's not logical. Logic is defined as A is something something, B is something something, conclusion, C is something something. this thing about consensus, right, is a matter of persuasion. So think about it, if so many people now know Bitcoin, even if they don't know the tech, and they see in the news, oh, Bitcoin all-time high today, right? Yeah, people will just buy, out of fear of missing out of greed. Will it crash soon? I think so. We wait for 1 month. However, after 1 month, right, my strategy is to dollar cost average. So I don't believe it will go up forever. It's too parabolic already. Okay, next. Do you think Bitcoin will remain as the leading cryptocurrency? Yes, because it is easily the first cryptocurrency. It is not the first digital currency. It is the first cryptocurrency that a lot of people accept. And because it is open source, it's truly decentralized. Open source means you can go GitHub and download the Bitcoin code. You can modify it also. You can make forks. That's why you have Bitcoin Gold, you have Bitcoin Cash, because it's open source. So anything Bitcoin, right, will attract interest in the press, and you can actually check out the Google search keywords volume for the word Bitcoin. But why is crypto better than fiat? No. Crypto is not necessarily better than fiat. This is a matter of what you think, basically. I would say crypto is the same as fiat. Actually, we think about it in terms of money. Like, what is money? It's about consent once again. What is currency? We don't say money because money got M1, M2, M3, and M0 in terms of central bank definition. So think of it like, what is currency? Like, when I trade something with you, right? Let's go back to barter trade. So last time, long ago, like 1,000 years ago, I can say that we can agree to trade 1 chicken for 1 duck, or 2 chicken for 1 duck. It's a matter of consent. It's like, you consent, then if you consent, I consent, then there's a trade. If you consent, I don't consent, there's no trade. As simple as that. So this fiat thing, right, is that now do I want to hold Sing dollars, or do I want to hold like some African currency that is hyperinflated? Or do I want to hold Sing dollar, or do I want to hold US dollar, which there's quantitative easing, meaning the central bank is printing a lot of money? Or do I want to put my hard-earned money in terms of salary into stocks, which is like tech stocks are doing really, really well this year, 60%, 100% increase? Or do I want to put it in the bank that has 0.00 something interest rate? So this is choice law. So I don't think crypto is necessarily better than fiat. I really don't think so. It depends on what the alternative assets, what are the ROI I get, and whether it's stable or not. If I'm going for a cryptocurrency or currency as a store of value, would I rather put it in Bitcoin right now, or would I rather put it in fiat right now? So this is a dynamic question. It depends on, there's no fixed answer. It depends on what is happening to alternative assets at that particular point in time. Okay, then the next one, why care about crypto? You can don't care also, it's okay. I mean, I'm not, okay, I'm being really sincere about it. Like, if you are perfectly happy with where you are in life right now, and you don't really want to make your money work harder for you because you're so happy with your life, contented and things like that, then really don't even care, because the space is also very messy. Like, the space is filled with drama every day. Like, you read the crypto news, you think, wow, very drama. So if you don't care, it's okay, I don't care. If you don't feel comfortable with drama or volatility, because you can make a lot of money and can lose a lot of money. So the point of the course, right, that why I wanted to set it up, is to make sure that the downside is manageable and people are actually aware of the risk, instead of just going head in, motivated by greed or whatever. So if you don't care, then don't care, it's fine. What are the key challenges of investing in crypto? Is lack of emotional awareness. That is the first one. Like, people buy things because they fear missing out, or they buy things because they are very greedy. So they don't do any prior research. They don't really know what is Bitcoin technology or blockchain technology. They just buy because the the press is hyping it up, because the friend bought it, because they are very curious about it. The second thing is like very technical stuff, like losing private keys. Because now you see, you don't have bank, right? The benefit of having a bank is that you can just forget about your money in the bank, and one day, I mean, bank send you a letter to inform you, okay, this is how much in your bank, and how much you spend. With cryptocurrency, you become your own bank. So you are solely responsible for how much money or how much Bitcoin is in your own bank. So once you lose the private key, it's really gone. So you have a lot of news, a lot of cases in the news, right, where people say that they lost a lot of Bitcoin because they threw away their own hard disk, or things like they lost their private key. I lost my private key also twice. So these are the challenges of like investing in cryptocurrency. Okay, whether you want to attend the course or not, right? Remember these are Bitcoin is definitely something to watch. So I would like to encourage everyone, wait 1 month to see how the situation is like, because this parabolic movement really scares me. It reminds me of 217, which is really scary. I know a lot of people who lost a lot of money, retail investors, especially new people to the space. If ever it crashes, right, or the momentum slows down, I will encourage everyone to actually dollar cost average. And do it for the long term. Just set like every month $100, 100 Sing is also enough. Because this trend is definitely going to go up, in my opinion. We have enough indicators already that our family offices and your institutions are actually using Bitcoin as a store of value, because you cannot anyhow print Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin only has a fixed amount, fixed supply of 21 million. So printing of Bitcoin is not possible beyond 21 million. So after that, right, the value would more or less be there, because you cannot anyhow inflate it. And by you, I mean any single party cannot do that, because in order for them to, okay, they cannot even do that even if they have 51% power over the Bitcoin network. Because Bitcoin ultimately, in the white paper, you will realize is actually a mathematical problem that miners have to solve. So it's actually encoded in the text already, in the mathematical equation. So based on design, right, by design, right, it is already clear that why institutions want to hold it as a store of power. We see more and more signs of consensus in the larger community, and this consensus is only broadening. So since it's based on consent, right, my opinion is that in the longer term, like 10 years, it will just keep on going up. As more and more people lose confidence in fiat currency, like people anyhow printing money. Yeah. Do you have any other questions? How do you actually lose your private key? Very good question. Okay, private key is like this thread of this long thread of alphabets, randomized alphabets and letters and numbers. So it can be also in like words like 12 words. So it can be random words like pet, apple, orange, motorcycle, things like that. So I lost the paper. Private key are on the piece of paper, because you cannot remember one. Like I have a couple of wallets lah. So basically, it's impossible to remember all the private keys, and it's definitely impossible to memorize the whole randomized letters, alphabets, and numbers. So I actually lost the paper. Oh, and please don't put your private keys on the cloud lah. I do make the mistake as well, because that is small amount, so I don't really care. So I email the private key to myself. That's on the cloud already. But as long as you have more than 5 digits, right, don't put it on the cloud. That is quite bad. Yeah. It's quite sad. Never mind. We move on. Okay, if there are no questions, right, I would like to thank you for joining me today. The feedback has been really, really useful. Now at least I get a gauge of how to make my class better for people new to the space. And if you have any questions, I'd love to be connected. If you have any questions, right, feel free to email me at oneway@kigai.com. We have a Facebook group, bit.ly/studyblockchain. You can actually join and can connect with me. What did I put? Okay, yeah, my personal Facebook is facebook.com/oneway. So you can just connect with me. Anything you want to ask me, you can just PM me or things like that. I welcome any feedback also, so you can just feedback me. Yeah. Okay, so this is the end of the session today. If you have any questions, you can just email me or connect. Thanks everyone for joining. Welcome, Sipei. Thank you. Bye-bye. I will stop share and I will... Thanks, Gail. Okay, I'll stop share and I will end the session, okay? Okay, how to stop?